For sure, I can guarantee you two things. The first one, Manchester United are in direct conversations with the agents of Mateus Fernandes. Manchester United made contact over the last 48 hours with the agents of the player, and Manchester United started the conversation about eventual cost of the deal, transfer fee, but also salary. So United started the conversation with those close to Matheus Fernandes. And then, important to say, this is an important news regarding all the clubs interested in Matheus Fernandes. The price decided by West Ham for Matheus Fernandes, according to my information, is £85 million.
What is going on, everyone, and welcome back, United Focus. And what an absolutely enormous day of Manchester United transfer news we have got for you today. Fabrizio Romano has confirmed direct talks with a top midfield target. United are reportedly ready to break their transfer record. Edison is officially 100% confirmed. The Rashford saga is entering its final chapter. And there are massive updates on Alex Scott, Lewis Hall, and more. This is genuinely one of the biggest transfer news days we have had at this club in years. So let's get straight into every single detail. Let's start with the one that is already done, because Fabrizio Romano has now made it completely official. Romano posted on X this week confirming that Manchester United and Atalanta have completed all documents for the Edison deal. The full package worth €45 million is agreed. Everything is signed off between the clubs. Now here is the update that has genuinely set the transfer world alight today. And when Fabrizio Romano speaks in these terms, you pay very close attention. Manchester United have made fresh contact with the agents of West Ham midfielder Matheus Fernandez within the last 48 hours. And Romano has now confirmed on his YouTube channel that direct conversations are very much underway. And I want to make sure we get this right because the language is significant, were as follows. He said he can guarantee two things. First, United are in direct conversations with the agents of Matheus Fernandez right now. Second, those conversations have already touched on the eventual cost of the deal, the transfer fee and the player's salary. That is not vague interest. That is not monitoring from a distance. That is a negotiation that has already started. United have opened the door, sat down at the table and started discussing numbers. And then Romano dropped the fee. West Ham have decided on £85 million as their asking price before they will greenlight Fernandez's sale. £85 million for a 21-year-old who they bought from Southampton for £40 million just 1 year ago. His stock has genuinely more than doubled in 12 months. Romano also confirmed, and this is critical, that Fernandez will leave West Ham this summer. Those were his words. He will leave for sure. The only question is where he ends up going, and United are positioning themselves aggressively to win that race. Now, there is a significant complication we need to address honestly. PSG are also interested. The Champions League holders have emerged as a rival for Fernandez's signature, which means United do not have this deal to themselves. This is going to require United to move decisively and quickly. But the fact that Romano says United have made contact in the last 48 hours and are already discussing fees and salaries suggests they are taking exactly the right approach. Earlier in the week, there was also that development about Real Madrid and Jose Mourinho potentially being interested in Fernandez, but United are not waiting around for that to materialise. They are in the room, having the conversation and pushing hard to get this done. £85 million for a 21-year-old who is already performing at this level. If United get this right alongside Edison and Tonali, this midfield rebuild becomes genuinely elite. Right. Take a deep breath, because this one is enormous. Manchester United are reportedly prepared to break their transfer record by paying £100 million for Newcastle United midfielder Sandro Tonali. £100 million United's record transfer signing for the player Michael Carrick has identified as his top midfield target this summer. Italian outlet Tutto Mercato Web reported that United are now prepared to match Newcastle's £100 million valuation. And here is the detail that makes this feel very real. Journalist Luke Edwards of The Telegraph, who specifically covers Newcastle United and knows their club inside out, has written that some within the Magpies hierarchy now expect Tonali to leave before the start of the season. Let me read you what Edwards wrote, because this is significant. He said people at Newcastle should brace themselves for another big-name departure. He confirmed Tonali's agent has been actively offering him to clubs in England and Europe, which is a players' camp openly pushing for a move. And he said Newcastle are already planning for the scenario where Tonali leaves. They know who they want to sign as a replacement and are prepared for that outcome. When a club's own hierarchy is talking in terms of expecting a departure rather than fearing one, that tells you the situation has fundamentally shifted. Newcastle sold Alexander Isak last summer for $130 million. They sold Anthony Gordon to Barcelona. They are a selling club when the money is right, and at $100 million for Tonali, the money is right. Now, would this be worth it for United? Let's be very clear about who Tonali is. 26 years old, Italian international, one of the best midfielders in the Premier League, proven at the highest level. His agent has been shopping him to clubs across England and Europe, making it absolutely clear the player wants a bigger stage. A title-challenging club, which United are building towards under Carrick. United previously broke their transfer record for Harry Maguire, which did not work out. But they also paid enormous money for Casemiro, who was transformational before age caught up with him. The key is getting the right player, and every indication suggests Carrick has identified Tonali as exactly the right player to anchor his rebuilt midfield. Edison, Fernandes, Tonali. If all three happen, and there is genuine momentum on all three right now, United's midfield goes from a position of serious weakness to one of the most exciting central units in the Premier League. That is not an exaggeration. One final note on Tonali. Reports in recent days also put the potential fee at €115 million from United's side. Whether that is the final number or Romano's £100 million is closer to reality, we will find out. But the intent is clear. United are going for this. Big. Now here is some sobering news on another of United's midfield targets, and the message from Bournemouth is very clear. Manchester United have been strongly linked with Alex Scott, the dynamic Bournemouth midfielder who United viewed as an ideal number 8 to partner Mainu and Edison. We reported recently that United were leading the race for his signature. Well, Bournemouth have now fired a very clear warning shot. According to TalkSport, Bournemouth owner Bill Foley does not want to sell Scott this summer. Full stop. He values Scott at around £80 million, and he is hopeful the player will sign a new contract at the Vitality Stadium instead of leaving. Liverpool have also emerged as a potential destination following Andoni Iraola's move to Anfield, which adds another layer of complexity. But if Bournemouth's owner is personally determined to keep his best players, this is going to be a very difficult deal to do, regardless of which club is pursuing him. United may need to accept that Scott is not available this summer and focus their midfield resources on Fernandes and Tonali instead. With those two pursuits already at an advanced stage, perhaps that is the smarter allocation of energy and money anyway. Elsewhere, Marcus Rashford. June 15th is the deadline, 4 days away at the time of recording, and the latest developments suggest this saga is finally heading towards its conclusion. Barcelona have until June 15th to exercise their £26 million option to buy Rashford permanently. Reports from Spain suggest they remain hesitant to pay the full agreed fee and may attempt to renegotiate. United, however, have previously been described as unwilling to renegotiate, though there have been hints this week that United's stance may have softened slightly to try and get the deal done. If Barcelona do not exercise the option, then Rashford returns to United, and that is where the next phase of this story begins. Mundo Deportivo are reporting this week that Aston Villa and Tottenham Hotspur are keeping a close eye on Rashford's situation, ready to pounce if Barcelona ultimately walk away. Rashford himself reportedly wants Barcelona and nobody else, but with Anthony Gordon having already arrived at the Camp Nou, the writing appears to be on the wall. United are also hoping Rashford performs well for England at the World Cup. A strong tournament would significantly increase his market value and the number of clubs willing to pay serious money for him. That is the practical calculation being made at Old Trafford right now, June 15th. 4 days. Watch this space. Quick update on the defensive situation, because there has been some noise this week that needs addressing. Reports from Argentina claimed United were preparing a bid for Tottenham captain Cristian Romero. United sources have completely dismissed that suggestion. Romero is not on United's summer wish list. The report is described as wide of the mark, so put that one to bed immediately. What is the situation at centre-back? United currently have Harry Maguire, Lisandro Martinez, Matthijs de Ligt, Lenny Yoro and young Aiden Heaven as senior options. That is 5 centre-backs. Carrick is not prioritising that position this summer. Midfield is the overwhelming focus. That said, Harry Maguire's future is interesting. Despite a solid season under Carrick and the surprise of being omitted from England's World Cup squad, reports suggest United's hierarchy could cash in on the 33-year-old while he still holds market value. Inter Milan have been mentioned as a potential destination, nothing imminent, but one to watch as the window develops. There is also a discussion about whether Lisandro Martinez should be sold to free up funds and bring in a more durable option, someone with a better injury record who can handle the physical demands of 2 games per week. That debate is ongoing internally. Right, let's bring absolutely everything together, because the scale of what United are attempting this summer is genuinely breathtaking. Edison, 100% confirmed by Romano. €45 million package, first signing done. Medical and official signing expected in July. Matheus Fernandez, Romano confirms direct talks in last 48 hours. Fee discussions already underway. West Ham want €85 million. He will leave this summer. United leading, but PSG are competing. Sandro Tonali, United reportedly ready to break their transfer record at £100 million. Newcastle hierarchy internally expecting his departure. Agent actively pushing for a move to a title-challenging club. This is the marquee signing Carrick wants. Alex Scott, Bournemouth owner wants to keep him and wants him to sign a new deal. Pursuit very complicated, may need to look elsewhere. Lewis Hall, Newcastle resistant, 3 years on contract, Howe wants to keep him. Difficult this summer. Rashford, June 15th deadline in days. Barcelona hesitant to pay full fee. Villa and Spurs circling. England World Cup performance could change his market completely. Cristian Romero, not a United target. Dismissed completely by United sources. Harry Maguire could be sold while he still has value. Inter Milan linked. Rafael Leao, still in the background. Premier League is his dream. United and Arsenal competing. The window opens June 15th. United return to the Champions League next season. Carrick's rebuild is already moving at extraordinary speed. 3 midfielders potentially arriving. A record transfer being considered. This is a club with genuine intent, genuine financial firepower, and a manager who knows exactly what he needs. The Michael Carrick era is going to be very, very exciting, and we are right here to cover every single second of it. Make sure you are subscribed so you do not miss a single update as this window opens. Smash that like button if you enjoyed this one. It genuinely helps the channel more than you know. And drop your thoughts in the comments below. Are you excited about potentially getting Tonali and Fernandez alongside Edison? Is that the midfield United have been dreaming of? Let me know. I will see you in the next one.